Hi everyone, this is Nataraj. I'm back with another video. Today I'm excited to talk about that deploying the web application app engine using Terraform agenda. Here is what we'll be covering in this video. What is the app engine? Key feature of the app engine. How to deploy an app on the Google App Engine via Terraform. What is the Google App Engine? Google App Engine is allow you to build and run the application without worrying about that server provisioning, scaling, patching or load balancing. App Engine is automatically scaling your application based on the traffic and handling that more operation tasks. You can only focusing on the code aspect while every other requirement is filled by the platform itself. Google App Engine support languages such as Go, PHP, Java, Python, .NET, Ruby, Node.js and any custom runtime. Building that application of App Engine is a proficient and the time to be is the market is considerably short with it. App Engine flavor. There are two flavors of App Engine. App Engine Standard and App Engine Flexible. App Engine Standard is offer the sandbox for the application with quick startup time and automatically scaling, whereas App Engine Flexible run the application in the Dockerized container and provide the more customizations and support for the third-party libraries. Key feature of App Engine. First one is that automatic scaling. It's automatically scale the applications up and down depends upon the traffic. Next one is that versioning and the traffic splitting. It is easy to deploy the new version and managing the traffic between the each versions. Next one is that integrate with the developer experience. It's easy to integrate with the Google Cloud service such as the Cloud Data Store, Cloud Pub Subs and the Firestore. Next one is that zero server management. You don't need to be worried about that managing that handling server infrastructure. It takes up by that GCP. Next one is that support for both microservice and monolithic application. App Engine can be used for that small service or and a large and as well as for the multi-component application it be supported. Next one is that zero time deployment. It's allow that seamless updates and without affecting that end user experience. Next one is that building the security. It's including the features like identity and access management and SSL TLS encryption as well as the DDoS protections. Next one is that App Engine pricing. Pay as you go. You can pay only for that features or service that you are using. Scale your application. App Engine is automatically scale your application based on the demand. The scaling type is determined that how many number of instance of provisionings related to that incoming traffic to your application. There are three types of that scaling is available. First one is that manual scaling, basic scaling and automatic scaling. Manual scaling is the total number of instances are fixed irrespective of incoming traffics. Basic scaling is provide a new instance whenever they are receiving a new incoming request. If the instance is ideal for a certain amount of time, then it will be that deprovisioning the instance, which means that as your request is volume is increased, the number of instances will be increasing as well. Automatic scaling, the most dynamic scaling option. It's ensure that its application can be scaled up when the demand is increased, scaled down when the demand is decreased. Comparison of the scaling option. By choosing the right scaling option, you can optimize the performance and cost in your application. Manual scaling is the best when you have the fixed workload. Basic scaling is suitable for that short running task. Auto scaling is that ideal for the application with fluctuations or unpredictable traffic that need to be scaling the dynamically. Auto scaling is only supported for that F instant types. You have to be make sure that while choosing the instant types. Versioning and traffic splitting. Every time you deploy your application into the Google, App Engine is create the new versions of your application. It's important to know about the key feature about the versioning. Automatic versioning is every deployment to the App Engine, it's automatically assigning the new versioning number. This versioning number typically look like V1, V2, etc. That URL based versioning, each versions of your application is accessible via the URL. Next one is the multiple version. You can have the multiple versions running as that simultaneously. Each it is have its own traffic splits. Traffic splitting. Traffic splitting is allow you to control that how the traffic is distribution between the multiple versions of your application. It is typically used for the performance gradual rollout and A/B testings or canary deployment. How traffic splitting work is a percentage based traffic splitting and dual based traffic its work. For example, suppose you have the two version, V1 is the stable version and V2 is the new version. You can split the traffic between that each version. For example, version 1 is the 90% of traffic will flow and version 2 is the 10% of traffic will be flow. App engine pricing. The Google App Engine used for that pay as you go for pricing model, which allow the developer to pay only for the resource they consume. The pricing structure is consist of the several components, it including that instant pricing, storage cost and uploading networking. Clean up that App Engine resource. App Engine is cannot able to delete that directly through the Terraform and any other method. You can either disable it or deploy that applications. We are at the Visual Studio Code. The entire source code is available on my repository. You can clone from any time. We can see the Terraform code one by one. The first file is that main.tf file. This file I am defining the main infrastructure resource for this application. We can see that each resources and variable. The first one is the local variable. Combine the list of GCP service from the variable called GCP service list with the predefined list of SSL services. So some of the services I am defining the variable, some of the services also we can define here. So during the executions of that variable I am combining each other. Next resource is that I am enabling the GCP services. This resource block I am enabling the list of GCP services from the specific project. Iterate over that combining list of the SSL services. I will be break down that Google project services resource block. First attribute is that project, specific project ID where your service will be enabled. Next attributes for the for each. The purpose of the for each is that iterating over the each services in the local all project service list. I use the toSet function. It converts the argument to the set. The main purpose is the toSet is removing that any duplicate variable. Next attribute is the services. Each dot key for current services in the iteration it can be stored. Next attribute is that disable dependency service equal to true. Here I am ensuring that dependency service are also disabled when the main service is disabled. Next attribute is that disable on the destroyed equal to true. Here I am disabling the services when the Terraform resource is destroyed. Next resource is that time sleep. The main purpose is that adding the delay to ensure that service are fully initialized. So whenever you are enabling the API service, it takes some time to be that initialize the process. Using that time sleep resources, we can make it that delay between that resource creation. Next resource is the Google storage bucket. Here I am creating that Google storage bucket for the application. Next resource is the random ID. I am generating the random ID for the naming resource. Right now I am defining with 8, so you can define with any number of the character. Next one is the data block. Here I am archiving the Python code into that zip file. So you can see here we have to be mention the types zip format and where you want to be zip that directory source and output directory also you have to be defined here. The next resource is the Google storage bucket object. Here I am uploading the zip file into the storage bucket. So next resource is that Google App Engine. The purpose of the resource is creating the Google App Engine application. Next resource is the Google App Engine standard app version. This resource deploying the new version to that application to the App Engine. I will be break down the resource one by one. First attribute is the version ID. Here I am specifying the version ID for the each deployment. Next attribute is the services. The default is indicating as the default services. Next attribute is the runtime. Here I am defining is the Python 312. It is indicating that application will be running on the Python 3.12. Next attribute is the entry point. To specify the command to start the application. In my case is Python main.py. If you are using the Node.js, this it be differ with that application standard. Next attribute is the deployment configurations. You can see here the source URL, it indicating that application code is the package as a zip file in that Google storage buckets. So earlier whatever the file we archive, the same file only here we are referring. Next to attribute is the instant class. The F1 is indicating is the specific instant class. Next attribute is the auto scaling for that application. Next attribute is that delete the service on destroyed equal to true. This purpose is deleting the service when the resource is destroyed. Next one is that next file is the provider.tf file. This file configuring the Terraform provider for the Google Cloud. Next one is that variable.tf file. So this file is defining that variable used for the Terraform configurations. Then I am moving to that Python directory here. The first one is I am going to click on that main.py. This file is defining a sample Flex application with the single root that will be written with the hello world. Next file is the recommend.tf file. So this file is list of using for the Python application dependencies. Next one is that app.yml. This file is configuring the app engine runtime. Next one is that gcloud.ignore. So this file is specifying for ignoring that when you are deploying into the Google Cloud. Next one is that gitlab.ignore. This file is specifying to ignoring to that git repository whenever you are trying to commit that any changes, but this are the file be exclude during the commit. I'm moving to the terminal to execution the entire operations. I am at that GCP console. Now I am going to create the new project. I'm clicking the new project here. So I'm choosing with any name based on my convenient. I define as that app engine. Just ignoring that location part, and I'm going to click that create button. Now I'm switching to that app engine. Now I'm at that projects. So now I'm going to create that service account. I'm going to click that navigation menu. Then I'm going with that IAM admin. Then I'm going to choose with that service account here. I'm going to click with the create service account. Just I'm providing the name called Terraform. And I create and I click continue. Now I'm assigning the role called owner. Make it continue. I provided that full grant privilege. I'm going to click with done. So now the service account is created. It's by default it won't generated the key. So now I'm going to create that JSON keys. I'm going to click the keys. And I'm clicking the add keys, create the new key here. So whichever type you can choose, but in according to my requirement I'm going to create with the JSON. Just I'm choosing with the JSON. I'm clicking with the create. So I'm going to download the file. Just I'm going to edit. I'm copying all the content. In my source code repository, I'm going to replace with that my existing JSON keys. So now I'm going back to the GCP console. Just to copy that project ID here. I'm going back to my Visual Studio Code. I'm going to click the variable. Just I'm replacing that my ID. Basically this is on the previous existing one. I'm replacing. Yes, the two place only I'm using. So now we are good to go with executing the Terraform commands. I'm going to click the three dot, open with the new terminal. So now I'm going to execute the Terraform init command. With downloading all the dependencies. Then I'm going to execute in the Terraform plan command to validate my syntax and all the function everything. I'm just asking that deployment version I defined as 1. So this 10 resource going to create. I'm going to execute in the Terraform apply command. It asking the deployment version. I provide with the 1. Now the app engine is try to create. It asking the user input. I'm provided with yes. Now service accounts and app engine is going to create one by one. I'm going to pause this video, so once everything is created then I can continue on it. Terraform operation successfully completed. I'm moving back to that GCP console page. So I'm going to search with that app engine. So I'm going to click the services. You can see the thing that whatever the version I defined one, it will be showing us here. So I'm going to the firewall rule. I'm default allow with all the IP range. So asterisk is indicating with a wide range of IPs. And then I'm moving back to that dashboards. This is the URL for the application. I'm going to click this URL from different tabs. Yeah, now you can say a thing. I can able to access my application. Hello world. That's it. Thanks for watching. I hope you find that video will be informative and helpful. I'm looking forward to your feedback and any questions you may be